What is going on, everybody? It's Awesome Gamer here, and welcome back to another video. Now today I am going to be starting off a new mini-series called Welcome to Minecraft. You can actually call it anything you want, like Minecraft for beginners or something like that. Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna call it Welcome to Minecraft because this is basically an introduction to what you should do in Minecraft. Later you're going to get some more experienced tips, so stick around and wait till more episodes come out, then they come more experienced tips. But at the beginning we're going to be starting off with some basic controls and stuff in Minecraft. Okay, so first we're going to go over the options. Now, first, the FOV is how wide your vision is. I'm going to go over that later. Skin customization is basically how you look. So this skin has a second layer basically, and yeah, so you can turn it on and off. Okay, sorry about the cut, the music was a little too loud. Okay, so that was the skin. Now on to music and sounds. This is basically how you control the music. So for example, how friendly creatures sound, how loud they are, master volume. So if you want to just hear the hostile creatures that attacked you, then you can turn everything else down except them. But usually you just leave it everything at max and control it from your computer's volume. Okay, video settings. This is very useful if you use if you're using anything that is like a crappy computer basically. If you're using a crappy computer, this there are going to be more functions here than regular Minecraft because I'm using Optifine right now. Optifine basically increases the frame rate when you're recording. You guys don't need to have that. But graphics fancy is basically is how good your graphics are, and smooth lighting is basically it's basically how much the shadows smudge. Smooth lighting level, this one won't exist. GUI scale is how big your, like for example, hotbar is. Brightness is how bright your game is going to be. Like if you're in mining, then it shows how bright your screen is going to be without a torch. Fog is this one's not going to exist. Shaders, not really. Animations and all this stuff is not going to be there. View bobbing is basically if you can see your hand bob along. It basically looks more realistic. Render distance is how far you can see. Max frame rate is basically how fast your game can go. You actually just want to leave it at 60 if you're recording, or 30 if you want to play normally, because more than 60 is basically what you cannot see, so it doesn't matter. And the others don't exist either. So I might have left out some functions, but it's not really important to mess around with those kind of stuff unless you have a really corny computer. Then you'd better start playing around a little bit until your Minecraft performs pretty well. Language, as it says, it's basically the language of the game. There's also this really weird pirate speak over here that causes my Minecraft to crash. Okay, there we go. So here, our pirates, they ain't talking like you scurvy landlubbers. This is basically just to change the language. If you speak another language, then this is the place for you. And you just switch the language. If you're pirate, then they also have pirate speak. Okay, then under resource packs is basically how you want to look. You can your Minecraft to look. You can download it from the internet. Different resource packs. So you can download, for example, a modern resource pack, and they will change how the blocks look basically. Super secret settings basically just messes around with your graphics. You don't want to do anything. If you click, you get a noise, but it's not actually a menu. Broadcast settings, you don't want to mess with that. That's for broadcasting. Controls, this is the part that you have to work with. So touchscreen mode is only for your touchscreen people. Invert mouse is basically if you move your mouse right, your character looks left. Sensitivity is how sensitive your mouse is. Then attack and destroy button is basically button 1 is the left click, button 2 is right click, and button 3 is the mouse button, the middle button, and as it says here is what it is. So hotbar slots is to select the hotbars. I'm going to explain that later. and the inventory. Then we've got over here highlight players. This is new, to highlight if there are any spectators, to take a screenshot, toggle full screen mode, to toggle your perspective, like behind the character in third person or in front of the character or in first person. And this is for Optifine only, you should leave this. Then we've got jump, as it says, sneak, sprint. Strafe is basically to walk, so walk left, walk right, and walk forward and backward. Then this is for multiplayer. This, when you press tab, you basically get like a menu that pops up. You can still play the game, so you can basically continue walking and look at the player list. It shows how many players are currently on the server. Open chat is basically to open the chat. Open command is basically to write commands. This one's not really for multiplayer. If you've got cheats on single player, you can also use this here. Streaming you should just leave alone. Okay, chat settings is basically how the chat looks like. So you can see the height, the width, and then the web links, so you can clickable web links, and to see if the chats is there. And colors, by the way, is if you have colored text. And snooper settings is basically to see, track anonymous data from your computer, and they send it to Mojang to see how good Minecraft works on your computer. I like to keep it off, because I don't like anyone tracking data. So if you guys want to help improve the game, then you can leave it on, but I just want to keep it off for now. Okay, those are all the controls. Now let's start up a single player world, create new world, then you can name what you want, the game mode, and there's a description here. Then they have a world seed. This is basically to tell how the world generates, where you spawn. Structures, it says over here. Commands, so we're just gonna turn it on for the sake of this video. The world type, this is basically to show what kind of world it is. There we go, customized. Bonus chest is basically a chest that spawns with you. We're gonna leave this on to show you. And you can also, of course, name it. Just gonna name this test. Very basic. And create. Now, remember the controls that you put in. That is what you're going to use to move your character. You're going to use the mouse here. So if you're using a trackpad, it's going to be a little difficult. You're going to use the mouse to turn your head, basically. Okay, it's loading a little slow here. There we go. So now we're in a world. So I'm moving my mouse right, and my head turns right. There we go. Here's the bonus chest. So you see, it can help you start off. Oh god, that is weird over there. Nice, we found some horses. So these are mobs here, but we're going to go through this in the next video. We're going to go through this in about 2 videos around there. This is just going to be the very basics. Okay, so when you hold down the attack or dig button, you dig up the block. Please, you have to be careful because you need certain stuff to mine. Other stuff, for example, if you're experienced and you find diamonds, you cannot use your fist to mine it up. You have to have an at least iron pick. So there we go. You see, you mine faster than the fist. This is how fast the fist is. Pretty slow. And with the axe, so it goes faster basically. Tools are specialized in certain things. I don't know why saplings are dropping. And then if you guys want to sprint, then you just double tap the front key, or you can use control. Hold the front and control. And then you can also right click to open up stuff, open up menus, and you use the E as an inventory to open your inventory. Here you go. And you can also use that to exit out of your... You can use this to exit out of menus that you're currently in. Then you can also dig up blocks, as I said before. And let's just quickly go to the options and go to FOV. So as you can see, if you put it onto Quick Pro, you've got a very wide vision range. It looks very weird, but you can see basically 180 degrees. But if you guys don't want to see much, 30. Then it's very zoomed in, this is very good for seeing pretty far, but usually you leave it on normal because it looks the best. If you really want to be a pro and you're PvPing or something, then you should use quick throw. Then you can see who's attacking you from the side. And this is basically 30, so you can see how far it goes in. Yeah, and that's pretty much the basics of Minecraft for you guys. I'm going to go into some tips in the inventory in a few videos time. Yeah, and as I said, you can open up the chat with the key you assigned it to, or you can use slash to give a command, for example game mode 1 to enter creative mode. Then you can fly by double tapping the jump button. There we go. And then commands you guys have to find out by yourselves. This is spectator mode where you can go down and whatever. And in creative you can also use shift to go down. As you can see, if I change mode with F5, you basically sneak. So if we fly and then we go down. You also use sneak. There we go. You can also sneak to make sure you don't fall off cliffs. So there we go, we're at the edge of a block and there's a really deep ravine down there. Then you shift and you can't fall off the block unless you jump, but you cannot fall off the block. That's what a lot of people use when they want to see over an edge to make sure that they don't fall off. Like you can do it over. You can't do it on blocks that are not very full, like chests over here, because it's not really a full block. So hang on, let me just show you guys. If I put you can see that the chest is smaller than the actual block. That's why you can fall off it. And if there's stairs, then you can also sneak up and down them. So you can see here, you're sneaking in between the blocks. Okay, that pretty much wraps up the beginning of Minecraft for you guys. If you want to know anything more, then write in the comments and I will answer your questions in the next video. I'm Awesome Gamer, signing out to the next video. Stay cool and be awesome. Goodbye.